Hi everyone, this is Body Innovations and my name is Susan Nash, and today we have a case study and our guest today is Shannon. The case study is about swimming. So we have a couple of questions with Shannon regarding her swimming. How long have you been swimming?
About 9 years actually.
9 years, okay. And with that, in terms of your career in the pool, have you had pain? Where's your pain?
In my right shoulder, up in the back of the shoulder.
Okay, anything else?
My arm goes numb.
Arm goes numb, okay. Now, it's very common posturally when you do any sport that you're gonna run into some postural habits, and we're gonna look to see what exercises we're gonna do to help Shannon in terms of correct some of her pain she might be having and actually help her in terms of posturing. So overall, Shannon, when I look at your posture and you're not thinking about your posture, what is your posture that you would like to do? Can you demonstrate your posture? Okay. Now let's turn you to the side so everyone can see how you fall into your posture and how you love to drop this down. So you can see she loves to drop her shoulders down and her hips actually sway a little bit forward. And do you like to lock your knees as well? Yes. So her knees like to lock in position. And you love to do this little funky thing with your feet all the time. They love to do this little turn in happening there. And when you're not thinking about your posture, you can actually live in this posture and not even know this is Shannon's normal. So even when she's, say, at school or walking around, this would be the position that you are most comfortable in and fall into, especially when you're in fatigue, whether it's in the pool or outside of the pool. This would be the space you live in. So to create a better space for her to live in, we have to introduce an awareness as to where she is posturally all the time. So at first it takes a little bit of work to get there, but you will actually feel better. In terms of doing some of the exercises that we're going to demonstrate today, how do you feel? Are you feeling better?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. In terms of pain, when you first came in, what was your pain threshold out of 10, would you say?
It was about an 8 or a 9.
8 or 9.
Yeah.
And where are you now?
Probably down to about 3 or 2 or 3.
Okay.
Depends on the day. 2
or 3, and you are a little bit still in the pool, you say?
Yeah,
You're still there, so you're still able to function, but we've brought your pain down by adding in some of these postural exercises. So that's really good news, that it's coming along very, very well. So the first exercise that we're going to do today is going to be a head press. So it's a standing head press. So one of the things we look at with Shannon is that she does like to drop her chest down, and when the breastbone here falls forward and drops, that first rib drops down like that, what happens is the head actually comes forward. So your head is literally craning forward and you end up with this head hanging forward and you get a lot of stress through the upper traps in through here. Do you feel all those all the time? Those are like always very sensitive and require a lot of massage and TLC really to get that out of there. So bringing the head back in position, and bringing the whole thoracic, so I want from here up on Shannon to really come into a better neutral position and strengthen her with that. So the first thing we're going to go through is demonstrating a head press. So what you do is you're going to come back against the wall, and I'm going to have Shannon place this ball so that it's right behind her head. Now it's important when you're looking at the head position here that Shannon's head is looking straight ahead, and that when she performs this exercise, she does not drop her chin. So drop your chin down. You don't want that. And then bring it back to level, and then go up. You don't want to be pressing back and looking up. And now bring it back to neutral. So neutral is your eyes are on the horizon and your chin is level with, or say parallel to the floor, and she's in a good standing position. So she doesn't want to do the exercise with her dropped position through her rib cage falling forward. So she's in a good neutral position through her upper body carriage. And then what she's going to do is slide her head backwards onto the ball and then release it. And then slide it back. So you feel that pressure?
Yeah.
And then release. So it slides back, you just hold it for a second or two and release. So one thing to watch for that you could be doing wrong if you are doing these at home and you find you have a forward head posture, let's show them, Shannon, when you do it wrong, how your whole body goes with it. So can you bring your, yeah, she's pressing her whole body back and coming forward. That is incorrect position. It will do nothing for you, probably make your situation even worse. So make sure you stabilize through your body. You have a nice stable position, and then once again demonstrate it's just the head sliding back and coming forward and sliding back and coming forward. Perfect. So excellent. So again, for Shannon's purpose, I would have her do about 3 sets of 10 of these and taking a little bit of a break, no more than 30 seconds between each set. But they're not a difficult exercise, are they?
No, it's pretty easy.
It's pretty easy and it does wonders. So we're gonna take this away and now we're going to turn you around, okay? And now what we're going into is we're gonna do a middle trap exercise here. So with this middle trap exercise, what we're looking at is you can see with Shannon and with a swimmer, she loves her shoulder blades to fall and round out and come forward because when in the pool, those are the positions she's using it. So here we're going to work on a middle trap exercise for her. And what you do is you come right up to the wall and you're gonna bring your arms in what I call a W. So she's in a W position there and her elbows are slightly lower, and right there I always want this position through her upper traps to feel really comfortable. Do you have any pain there?
No, it's good right now.
Okay, so she feels comfortable there, and now what she's doing, her arms are touching the wall. So she's touching the wall, she's not leaning into the wall, but she's right up against it, and then she's going to slide her arms out on a V. So she's not too tucked in here. I want a nice V through here, and at the same time she's doing that, she's got to keep her shoulders relaxed and down, because this is not an upper trap exercise. We're talking right through the middle traps here. So there's her arms, they're in position. To move her arms off of the mirrors or the wall, I want you to squeeze your shoulder blades together and the arms come off the wall slightly. You hold that for about 5 seconds. It's a lot of work. And then release it and let the arms touch the wall, and now slide the arms back down. There's your release. That's a reset. So it allows your body to go, oh, I can relax there. We'll try one more like that to demonstrate it. So she slides her arms up, keeping her shoulders out of her ears. Now to bring her arms off the wall, she's going to contract the muscles here so they come off the wall. Good. And then release them back onto the mirror. Good. And then slide them all the way down. Good. And then release. Perfect. So then turning back around. So with the next exercise, how did that particular one feel?
That one felt really good on the bottom of the shoulder blades.
Okay, so it felt really, really good. Okay, excellent. Now with this next exercise, I'm going to use a ball. Now I'm going to place this stability ball, okay, just in the small of your back, Shannon. Okay, and you're going to lean away. So I want you in a nice lean out position here. And what happens here is she's going to lower, this is a wall squat. So we're now going into a wall squat position. The function of this exercise for Shannon is that I want her to have a dissociation or an awareness of what's going on in her hip and what's going on in her torso. So I want her torso to be nice and tall, and her lower body is going to go down into a seated position. So what we're going to do is lower you down, and as you lower down, the knee has to be over the hip. Good. And then roll it back up. So we're going to try that again, and you're only let the hip socket come to, say, where the thigh is parallel with the ground. Don't go deeper than that. So you're going to lower yourself down. Watch the head position. Get the head back in position. Good. Torso's tall. There it is. It's nice and perfect. Lots of work here in the glutes, legs, everything's happening. Love the torso position. And now roll it back up with control. Okay, let's try it one more time. Watching the head position as well. So you're going to lower yourself down, thinking of keeping the head in position. There it is, nice and level. Perfect. And then bringing it back up. Perfect. And then we're going to try it one more time. Lower it down. Good. Looking straight ahead. Good posturing. Good. And then bringing it all the way back up. Excellent. So again, Shannon would be doing 10 of these and 3 sets of them with a little bit of a 30-second break in between. If you needed more of a break, you could go up to about a minute, but those work very, very well. With our next exercise, Shannon is going to demonstrate a deltoid lateral raise. So what I'm going to have Shannon do is, with her good posture, she's going to actually bring her arms out to the side, like so, and then bring them back down to her waistline. And then bring them back up and bring them back down. Now the thing I want Shannon to really watch here is that she is not, let's turn you slightly this way, okay? And watching your head position so that she's not craning forward here, is that as she comes up with her arms, she's got to keep these traps down so that she's not actually going to let them come up into her ears. You don't want that feeling. And then lower them back down and then bringing them back up. How does that feel?
Feels good. Yeah.
Good. And for you, that probably feels like work.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so for some of us, if I'm not having any swimmer shoulder or problems or anything like that, I'm not gonna, I could add a weight here. But for Shannon, right now, it's a very simple move. It's just a mechanical correct move while she's keeping her posture in excellent form and not letting her first rib fall down and letting that fall forward, and she's just raising the arms out. So try about 2 more. So it's a very simple exercise. You could do this sitting down in good posture, nice and tall spine, or standing. And for Shannon, always watching the head position of where she is. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels good.
Feels good?
Feel it, yeah.
You can feel it working. Okay, with our next exercise, I'm gonna have Shannon lie down, and she's gonna go onto her stomach. So I'm actually gonna have you lie down and go onto your stomach. Yep, good. And now from this position, you're going to bring your arms into back in front of you into a W, just like we did on the actual wall. So this is a different format of doing, say, the standing middle trap. This is a prone middle trap exercise for Shannon. Now I'm going to have her lower her elbows below her shoulder height. And then you've got to remember the position is that she's going out to a V and not straight up. So I want an out to a V position here. And I'm going to put the towel under your forehead. So you have a little bit of a towel there so that you're not crushing your nose. And you're still able to breathe. Are you okay? Yeah. Or do I need to fold more?
No, I'm good.
You're still good. Yeah. Okay. So from this position, what I'm going to have Shannon do is start to slide her arms out to a V. So they're sliding out to a V, and she's going to keep her upper traps coming down her back. Okay. And now she's going to squeeze the shoulder blades together and let the hands just come off. Good. And then lower back down and slide the arms back in. Now that probably felt like a ton of work. Yep. So it looks so simple, but it's going to feel like a lot of work. So I could really see you working very hard there. Okay, let's try that one more time. So to demonstrate, she's sliding them out. Her upper traps are down, and then she's going to draw her shoulder blades together, lift just there, good, and then lower, good, and then slide them back in. Now this time I'm going to ask her to activate through her abdominals as well. So just lots to think about here, and abdominals is definitely another aspect that we want to always encourage that you're using good mechanics. So you're going to draw your belly button towards your spine and start to slide your arms out. They go out to the V, and they don't have to lift very far. I want them to just come off the ground as you squeeze the shoulder blades together. Good. And now lower and slide them back down. Excellent work. How'd that feel?
Good, yeah.
Okay, so again, with this particular exercise, not more than 10. So for Shannon, I would really only start with about 6 of these at a time and work up to 2 sets and then 3 sets when she's comfortable with them. Because that was very challenging, wasn't it? I could definitely see that was work for her. So, in terms of video and in terms of you looking at this at home, always caution is necessary when you're not here and you're seeing us privately. We can really use the technique to the amount of exercise and repetitions that you would be best for you. So you need to come into the studio for that. But so as a cap, I wouldn't do more than 10. You always want perfect form. So I'm going to bring you up into a kneeling position. Okay. And I'm going to use this ball, and we're going to put you so that this ball needs to be the correct size for the person. So Shannon, how tall are you?
5'9".
So she's quite tall. She's 5'9". I know Shannon's body, and she's definitely on a 65-centimeter ball. You're going to roll over the ball so that just peel your spine. So turn to face the ball. No, I'm going to have you turn forward, and then peel over the ball, almost like as if your nose is almost going to touch the ball. So we can really see from Shannon that she's got this nice curve through here. And then I'm going to bring Shannon's arms to the side of her body, and her palms face her body. So anatomically, she's in the correct position there. Now what you're going to do is take a breath in, and as you exercise, as you exhale, not exercise, as you exhale, draw the belly button towards your spine and just lift your head up slightly. Good. And now start to lift this upper back, long neck, nice and long neck. She's reaching it up. Let your arms come out slightly. She's going to rotate her arm in the socket. So I've got all this nice rotation through here, lots of work. And now she's going to come back down, putting each vertebrae back down over the ball as she comes. Now, how did that feel?
That was actually a lot of work.
It's a ton of work. So, you know, you may have seen this exercise in another video from me demonstrating with another client. So depending on the need of the client, this is a very challenging exercise for Shannon in terms of strengthening her back here. So this time when I cue it, I want to add in your abdominals. So I want you to take a breath, and as you exhale, engage through your abdominals and then lift to float your head up. Keep the neck long and start bringing yourself up through the upper thoracics. And then you're going to rotate your thumb. Now notice Shannon wanted to rotate in. I'm going to rotate you out because that would be the position. Now I'm really using her back through here, whereas before she wanted to rotate in where she's comfortable. Now she's going to start to come back down and put each vertebrae back down and come all the way over the ball and let the arms return into the neutral position. Good. And then relax. That's a lot of work. Yeah. So definitely you would feel all your back working through here. So it's engaging the abdominals, working through the back. So with our next exercise, we're going to bring Shannon all the way up. Our next exercise is a standing knee float. So I'm going to have Shannon come up onto the blocks. These are just cork blocks. It's a yoga block. And she's going to place one foot on the block and in good posture, put all her weight on that leg so that the other leg is floating. Now, it's important to note when she's in this position that we're watching that her hips are level, so that her hips stay nice and level and that show a hiking up. So can you let this one hip come dropping? So come back to a good posture where it's nice and level for you. Good. So she's nice and even, and she has a nice tall spine so that she's not coming back into her postural favorite habit there. So she's got a nice tall spine. And what I want her to do is just bring this free leg up into what I call a knee float. So the knee is in line with the hip socket, and that I want this, especially this hip, to stay nice and long. So I look at the windows and I look at the line here and it's even. And then she brings the leg back down, and then she brings it back up. So this is just preparing her for the next exercise I have, and then lowering it down. So when you are at home, I want you to look to see that you can actually achieve this move. She's able to keep her torso upright and move from the hip socket without compensating through here by falling forward or hiking her hip up. Good, excellent. And then come back off that. So excellent. Now with my next position, we're going to do a standing lunge position. So it's actually stationary. She's going to go into just a lunge. I'm going to have you go forward. No, I'm going to use no block here. So I'm going to have one leg forward, one leg back. And can you bring your back leg so that the leg is lifted? I want the heel up. So with Shannon, there she is in that lifted position. Now the first, in terms of facing the camera, I want you to lower yourself just down, like you're going to go down into the lunge and then coming back up. So the idea here is that I want Shannon to stay nice and tall through her torso and not lean forward as she goes in the position. Now while she's facing the camera, I want you to notice that her knee, so coming back down, her knee is not falling in. She's able to stabilize this knee position right over her first, second toe, and then come back up and try one more. So she's able to to handle that position. Now I'm going to have you come up, and I want to angle you, Shannon, slightly. So I'm just going to remove the block. Good. So now again, she's going to have one leg forward, one leg back. Okay. And now from this angle, she's watching that she keeps her head in line with her spine, because as a swimmer, she wants to bring it forward and let her chest fall down. So I want you to lower yourself back down. Good. And then coming back up, and then lowering back down. Good. Coming back up. Can this leg go back a little bit further? A little bit further. Good. And then lower it back down. Good. And coming up and down and up. Perfect. One more. Good. So I'm able to see that Shannon can handle, say, doing that position. So my next position for Shannon, once you can achieve that, so I would have her at the beginning do, say, 10 of these, take a break, 10 more, take a break, 10 more, and then move to her whole other leg. So with this next position, we're going into what I call forward lunge. So this is a forward lunge with your arm out to the side. So I want the opposite arm to be out to the side. So what you're going to do, Shannon, is you're going to have one leg back, and I'll demo it this way for you. So she's going to have her one leg back. Her torso is upright. She's going to come down into her position, and now she's going to have to commit to moving her back leg. So what she's going to do is use her front leg, press into her front leg, and then come up into that knee float and have her opposite arm out and then come back down. So let's see that position for you. So it'll be much more challenging. So you have one leg forward, one leg back. Good. So you go down into that stationary position. Good. Now we're going to commit to that front leg, and you're going to press into the leg, come up onto it, and bring the arm out. Good. Let's go back. Now this time when you come up, can you lift that arm? I want the opposite arm to come up. So you got to come up and lift it out to the side. Good. And then come back down and lift up. So she's watching that her waist stays nice and long, her shoulders are level, this is level, and I've got one arm out to the side. Good. Come back, try it again, and this time when you bring your leg up, could it come up to the knee float position as opposed to being low? There it is. It's up. Bring this out. Good. And this is out. Good. See that work in that standing leg? That's a lot of work. Try one more. You're doing really good. You're doing awesome. Good. Come up and bringing it out. Good. Let's try one more. Go back into it. I want to see this knee. This knee. Good. There it is. So notice this leg is long. It's in position. Good. And then come up. I'm making you work hard. And out. Nice and even. Good. And relax. So again, I'd have her do the 10 of them. Those are very challenging, and especially, you know, as a swimmer, we're making you control your body. When you're in the water, you have a lot of lovely freedom of movement in there. And when you're, you know, standing on land and we're asking you to control your limbs, it becomes very, very difficult and challenging. So just standing all the time, Shannon has to work all the time through here to really watch her posture, keep her head in position so that her shoulder girdle is in a proper position that isn't going to create any more added burden to when she's not in the water. So we'll come back to Shannon in a few more episodes, and we'll check in with you and see how the exercises are doing and progress you. All right, thanks for joining us.